This is McCook's Mr. Bill. It's an honor to have you here. 5 ways to start a fire. I like using cotton to give you a good example of a great product, a fire starter. There's few things that burn quicker and easier than cotton. And one of the oldest and most primitive was Flint and Steel. They come in all sorts of forms, from $5 on up to you can spend $30 for some of these kind of critters. But and they're all effective. I said they're all effective and do an extremely good job, considering they've been around for an awful long time. Absolutely. And with that in mind, though, get that off to the side there. The next thing I'd like to show you, my father smoked as a young man, and so he collected the paper matches. There's 20 in a pack. He collected them in the 20s, 30s, and 40s. They always had advertising. They gave them away free at the counter, so you'd always pick up a couple and have them. And lightweight in your pocket, and they do a great job of lighting. Unfortunately, cigarettes, but anything you wanted to burn, it would be able to do that, except in a windy situation or wet situation. And of course, once they got wet, they were basically worthless. But again, they're very effective at what they do. And you simply open it up like that, take one out, put that back in there for the safety of it, if I can get it in there, and then you just do that and you've got your fire. Just that simple. Now these, again, are 80 years old, maybe 90 years old, and that's a good indication that something like this can stay around for a long time and be worth their weight in gold on the right situation and the right day. You bet. And now, in the 1950s, we started coming up with this. I started seeing people, young men, carrying these kind. They'd flip open, and for lighting cigarettes or anything else, but mostly cigarettes, young men would carry things like this. This has got the little blowtorch in it, but it, again, is very efficient at what it does. Absolutely. It can definitely light something very quickly, very powerful, little light, refillable, for less than, well, it weighs about 1 ounce, I guess. And so that's something to keep in mind as well. Let me open this up a little bit. Then you started seeing these come around so that you didn't have to burn your fingers when you was lighting something. And that's a great asset to have. And some work pretty good, but I've had others that were just a royal pain to get to work. You sit there and click them 20 times trying to get something to light. You probably all have been there. Refillable, but it can be a pain, and the wind just is a nightmare to try to get them to work. Absolutely. And again, very efficient at starting any kind of a basic fire. The options are continue though, and if I'll set that out there, here's a modern version, even got a bottle opener on it. And this bad boy, again, has got the push button here, and you just push that. It's a lot hotter fire, a lot more of a blowtorch almost, if you will, and yet very efficient at what it does. Absolutely. And refillable, and very effective. I said very effective. Absolutely. And so those are ways, and I'll finish with this. Here is an electric lighter, basically made to light a cigar, but they're about 1 ounce. I said a 1 ounce is all it weighs, and yet very effective and efficient. When you open it up, it automatically turns on, and that little thing turns bright red, and that's hotter than all blazes. Absolutely, and would theoretically light a cigar or anything else you so desired. It shuts off to save power. You can get about 100 lights out of this thing before you have to, that's right, recharge it. Recharge it on your computer or whatever you so desire, and it's efficient at what it does. You bet. Just that efficient. These are 5 ways to light fires. What's your way and what's your best way to light fires or anything unusual? Thank you for your time.